In 1954, we awakened something.
So when I saw the new Godzilla film, I saw it Thursday at 7 p.m. I was actually at the theater 4 hours early, and I got into the movie cinema around an hour before the film started. I got to see every preview, even the before show where it showed a whole bunch of TV shows I didn't even know or care about. And once we got to the actual film, I was ready. I was set. I wanted to see this movie so bad for freaking months. You have no idea. This is the only thing I've been looking forward to for the entirety of this year and the end of last year. When this movie finally hit the screens, I was there and I was ready to watch it. And I was not disappointed in any way.
Well, there's nuclear tests in the Pacific. Not tests.
They were trying to kill it.
This film is excellent. We start off with our main characters, Bryan Cranston and his family, and we're seeing they're going on with their daily lives, their daily routines. We have Bryan Cranston and his wife being in charge of a nuclear facility, and that's when the disaster strikes. What kind of disaster? We don't know exactly, do we? It builds up into something very intense, very emotional, very heartfelt, and you feel for these characters, you feel for this family, because they're going through something that they will not quite understand. And this film portrays that very well.
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control. And not the other way around.
I'm not crazy. Whatever it is they're guarding so carefully, I need to be able to prove.
That's 15 years later with the son being the main character, and his family is also involved as well. He has a son and a wife now, and he's an EOD, a specialist for the military of the U.S. Navy, and he basically is going home right now. He's on a little leave. He was away for 14 months, probably training or something like that out on the field, and he gets a call from Japan because his father was arrested for breaking into the quarantine zone of Janjira. Janjira would be the place that the accident that occurred where he lost his mother, and that's where it all began, and we were going right back there to see what really happened there.
All right, let's make this quick.
Sandra, are you there?
Joe, there's been a breach.
Keep the doors open. My wife is still in there.
Joe, it's too late.
Upon returning to the site, we see some Easter eggs, a Mothra Easter egg, and we also see a very interesting and familiar setting. A city overgrown by plants and trees. The city that's what we were starting at as in the film became old, but it wasn't irradiated at all. So something absorbed all that radiation, and that's not natural at all. But eventually they get arrested, and instead of bringing them to jail, they take them to the most top secret location on the planet. Don't understand why they didn't just take them to jail, but well, they ended up going to this place and seeing something very strange growing out of the old site of the reactor, where it was basically absorbed by this giant eggshell thing, this cocoon-like structure, which was glowing, and all kinds of weirdness was going on with it because it was sending out electromagnetic pulses, disrupting the power there. And sadly enough, we finally get to a climax with one of our characters. Bryan Cranston loses his life, eventually on the chopper, and then we are cut to these scientists who reveal to us that they know of the existence of a force, a powerful force of nature, hence being named Godzilla, which I guess they just named him that because that's who he was, apparently, but this is Godzilla, so We already know his name. We already know who he is. We don't have to have build up to that, I guess, either.
So... Run! Run!
Cut to Hawaii. Now that site is where the battle first begins. We have a tsunami coming in because our main hero, our main Godzilla, is coming through the ocean, charging at full speed to hunt down this abomination that's planning on mating with another of its kind, a female version that can't fly at all. It's just 20 times bigger. Of course it is. And we have a little fight in front of an airport, and when Godzilla finally arrives, we have that awe, that wow, there he is, ready to defend us from the most dangerous threat on the planet, a flying Muto. Eventually, the battle cuts to a newsreel where their child is watching the footage on screen. He thinks it's a freaking dinosaurs battling, and it's really happening. And then when his mom actually sees it, the reaction of that is priceless.
I know many of you have family and loved ones still in the city, and that you want to help them. Well, this is your chance.
You have no idea what's coming, and it is going to send us back to the Stone Age!
Once we get to the final fight between Godzilla and the two Mutos in the city of San Francisco, which is being reduced to rubble by these monsters fighting it out and just duking it out, we're at the awe phase of the film, guys. We're at the final battle where Godzilla shows us something that we've been waiting to see the whole film, and honestly, I'm glad we had to wait. I'm glad it wasn't just rushed and thrown at us like out of nowhere for no reason. Godzilla's tail lights up a nice familiar blue color, and you know what he does? He shoots his atomic breath in that bitch's face, the female Muto, of course. And you know what? That was awesome. That was the highlight of the film. I would watch this movie over and over again just to go back to that scene, just to watch it over and over again. That was my nerdgasm of the film right there. And I really do recommend this film to everyone. Watch this film, unless you're looking for something where you're watching two monsters in CG suits and all this other crap, computer-generated graphics over and over again. Watch Pacific Rim. I don't even care about that movie. But if you want to watch something that's very serious, very heartfelt, very serious, very real, I said serious twice, I'm sorry, watch Godzilla. Great movie. I'm not going to complain about it because there's nothing really to complain about other than that scene with the bridge and the police. That's about it. Alright guys, this is my first review. This is Tell's review, and if there's any other films that come out someday that I really enjoy, I will review them. This is my first shot at being a critic. Ooh, I'm rising. The end of the film shows Godzilla destroying the female Muto by blowing his atomic breath down her throat. That was awesome. And decapitating her and throwing her head off into the water. He takes a little nap along the coast and eventually wakes up again after all the people are being brought out of the rubble and the debris. He doesn't even attack the city. He goes and leaves them alone. And that's why I like this film, because you don't have Godzilla attacking a city for no reason. He was there to defend us, and that's why he was in this movie. Okay? He is our hero. This is our 60th anniversary, and this film changed everything. I can't wait to see a sequel. I hope we get one. So once we get to the Golden Gate Bridge, the climax of the film, we have Godzilla just waiting, trying to probably go underneath the bridge, but he's blocked by the military because the military just wants to bomb him and keep him away from the coast while they're evacuating the city. At the same time, they could evacuate the city if the police weren't blocking all the traffic. If you look at the film, if you see the scene on the Golden Gate Bridge, you'll see that all the police have there's 4 lanes. The tanks only need 2, and the police only need 1. If they lined their cars up down that 1 lane, they could allow buses to go through and try to sort of create a barricade to prevent the buses from. I don't know. I'm not going to explain that because I can't fix it. So, but that's the mentality these people had. Oh, we have to block the road. We have to let these things. Sorry. You have room. You should let these people get through because they're in harm's way. You're not protecting the people. You're just putting them in harm's way. And then eventually, when the military starts shooting at Godzilla with these people on the bridge, they just don't seem to care about the human lives they're trying to save to begin with. I guess the needs of the many really do outweigh the needs of the few. So.
This alpha predator of yours, Doctor. Do you really think he has a chance?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
Feel free to leave comments below and discuss the film with me as well. Share your thoughts on it. Share your speculations, your spoilers, whatever. I will note that this is not a spoiler-free review anyway, so you can talk about the film. I have seen it twice, and I do plan on seeing it again, so tell me what you think.